Good news, everyone! We're back with more Futurama. This is Season 6, Episode 12. Last time, we saw Lur and Nda having marital problems again, and Lur kept coming to Leela for advice and comfort, and eventually it just turned into Leela ordering him around and trying to make him do the right thing, and then he tried to kill her for it after Nda made him decide between her and Leela, but Fry jumped in front of it and wound up getting teleported back to Planet Express. Everything worked out fine. Anyway, this episode is called The Mutants Are Revolting. This has been something I've been hoping for a while, actually, because their place in society is so screwy they're forced to live in the sewers, not being allowed on the surface because they disgust other people. I'm sure this show will poke fun at some social movements, but hopefully Leela and the crew can help the mutants, including Leela's parents, live better lives. Let's check this out, though. Full reactions on Patreon and the link in the description below. Leave a like, and let's get started.
Good news, everyone! We've been
Everyone.
to make our 100th delivery.
Oh, interesting.
That's almost 10 per year.
This calls for a party, baby.
Very gentle,
Chimps.
folks. This is the souffle you're delivering to Mrs. Astor.
Oh my God, it tells on.
Oh, it's gonna
Mrs.
fall.
Astor takes nitroglycerin for her heart, and being a class act, she prefers it in souffle form.
Bender will carry it. He's gyroscopically stable.
Cool. Wow. Nice job, Bender.
Look, Mrs. Astor's mansion.
We made it.
Across that rickety rope bridge.
Oh. Could we not have landed?
Wow.
Here I go.
Oh my god. And what?
I shall take it here, under my fork.
Under your fork. He's gonna drop it right now. No? Mission accomplished.
I couldn't eat another bite. Hobbsy?
Oh. Dalmatians. Many of them.
Well, the Farnsworths have been in New York for almost 200 years.
Yes, I have.
Would you Farnsworths
Cool.
care to be my guest tomorrow at the Astor Endowment fundraiser? All the best families will be there.
We can take them.
No, that's not what they... Oh my god.
My late husband and I set off down Fifth Avenue aboard the land
2912.
Titanic.
It's almost 100 years.
Largest
Land
street-going
Titanic.
vessel ever built. 2,000 souls were lost that day, including my dear husband. In loving memory, I established the Mr. Astor Endowment, which this year supports the United Mutant Scholarship Fund.
You know mutants aren't allowed on the surface. If anyone asks, say I'm an alien, remember?
All right. You gonna finish that roll? For you see, generations of exposure to toxic sewage mutated them into horrific monsters!
Shut up!
Where did these proud toileteers learn their menial skills? At Brown University, the nation's premier institution of lower learning.
Yay, we're doing so good.
Oh, I understand, dear. They are hideous.
Look, I guess you
Jeez.
mean well, but isn't that university just a tax-deductible sewer cleaning service?
Oh, my
Probably.
dear, that school is about much more than sewer pipes.
Really?
It's also about keeping those filthy things busy.
If I say one more thing, I might say it with my evening boot.
Well, rarely have I never.
She's just a little ill-bred. You know how mutants are.
Fry. Oi.
You may have eluded the authorities, but don't nothing get past Mrs. Astor.
I mean, Fry, come on, man.
Oh, Mom, Dad, I can't believe I have to spend the rest of my life in this hellhole. I'm sorry.
It's okay, sweetie.
Nobody. If she marries Fry, does she get a green card?
Like I ruined her life.
You did ruin
You
her life.
kind of did.
You might be right, Hermes.
I am
Might.
right.
I mean, sure, she's a mutant. We've known that for years. But we
She's
kept
a
it secret
mutant?
'cause she's a fine, upstanding...
Wait, you knowingly attempted to harbor a mutant?
We did harbor a mutant.
Thanks for that.
Look, Leela,
Hermes.
Hazel,
I hate every single person on the surface for making us live like this.
Oh,
Leela! But you know, after 2 weeks down here, I'll truly understand the plight of the mutant people.
no, you won't.
How dare you? You
No,
want to
you
understand
won't.
something? Look at that lake. One dip in that toxic muck, and your DNA will be permanently mutated. Jump in and go for a swim.
I would, but I ate a bunch of potato salad, so
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is he actually gonna go in?
Surface.
Where my humans at? Ah, who cares? It is on.
100 deliveries. Oh.
Many
Okay.
wicked plots in that giant cargo.
Land Titanic.
Neighbors, it's the Land Titanic, the biggest and onlyest land boat ever constructed.
Onlyest.
It's a sacred shrine to the thousands who lost their lives.
Hey, I found a safe.
It's coming loose.
Just all the bones desecrated.
The original passenger manifest.
Spreadsheets were so elegant back then.
It's jewelry.
Quantum.
What's that inscribbled on it?
My dear Mrs. Astor, my love for you is as unsinkable as this land ship.
Oh,
Toilet
maybe I was
clams.
too harsh on Fry. He didn't ruin my life on purpose.
Things will
He
work
still
out,
did
honey.
it.
Now here, have some more of what looks like lemonade.
I've been to Wang Dang Doodles all up and down the galaxy, but this is the dangest Wang I ever doodled.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Come on, baby, let's do it.
Sick backflip. Nope. Yes. I like how Zoidberg was in the background.
Get out! Get out! It's not fun anymore.
Aww.
Fry, what are you doing?
You were right. I don't know what it's like to be a mutant.
And he goes.
I want to know. Any effect?
So what's with all the screaming?
Hey, guys.
Fry, this is the stupidest, sweetest thing you've ever done. Come here. Let me give you a kiss.
On the where?
Hug. Handshake. I'll text you. Who's ready to fight for equality?
Yay!
Revolution has begun.
Devolution revolution. Revolting. Both kinds of revolting. Ooh. Souffles, explosive souffles.
It's time to hit them where they sit by bending the West Side Pipeway to return all sewage to the surface.
Ooh.
Hey, buddy.
Ah, what the heck?
Aww. Bender! Oh god. The only way for mutant equality is for everybody to become mutants!
Move out, Fry. We need our most disgusting mutant leading the charge.
I'll meet
Most
you up
disgusting.
there. I need to check out something first.
Okay. Violet, you're up front.
Hey!
He got bought for 80?
The roots of our excretion into Madison Hill Garden.
Oh my god.
Well, it seems everything
Problem
is
solved.
The segregation of the mutant
Frequel
people
rights.
ends today. We demand equal rights.
Hobbsy, flush those creatures back down the hole they crawled out of.
What does he have?
Sewage-seeking missile.
I see B. Whoa.
Let my people stay.
Let my people stay.
Deep in the sewer, we discovered the wreck of the Land Titanic.
The Gemerald ring my husband was to give me in lieu of children. So what? I have a chandelier in my car made of those.
Not the
Wow.
gem. This passenger manifest. It turns out there were mutants on that ship.
I was just a young girl.
Whoa.
Brain angels, they called us. When the ship started going down, I suddenly felt the gentle tap of a cane on my face. I turned
On her
to
face.
see the kindly smile of Mr. Astor.
Wow.
Thanks to your husband's humanity, I live to raise my own daughter.
Why have I never heard this?
My mother's not.
Randall, let's grant these mutants their freedom.
Maybe I can stomach that kiss now.
Stomach it. Oh. What the heck? Oh, he was just in the mouth of another mutant?
Good afternoon. I am Mr. Astor. I did not...
Mr. Astor!
Mister? Is that really you?
Oh my god.
Hooray! A happy ending for the rich people.
Yes, yay. Happy ending for the rich people.
How was the party?
Oh, the greatest party ever. I don't need to have another party in my whole life. I am partied out.
Dang. Sorry we missed it.
We could have another one if we would make you
Aw,
guys feel
Bender.
better.
The limbo. Oh, and he's a gyroscope, Farnsworth said. He was keeping Amy stable while he danced. This is really their 100th delivery? It only took them 10 years. Alright, happy 100th delivery and 100th episode. I somehow felt like it was a lot more than 100, so I was confused by the 100 at the start of the episode. It feels like we've been doing this a lot longer, but yeah, I did one episode a week for a very long time, so it's been almost 2 years since I started posting these. Only a little left to go in the entire series. And I wonder how long the series will last this time when it revives again. Can you imagine if they're still doing Futurama in the year 3000, just like showing us what it's like in the year 4000? Just getting cancelled and revived over and over again? I mean, our characters would be dead by then, except for Bender, I guess. And he'll be so lonely. And it would also necessitate the human race making it to the year 3000. We'll have to wait and see on that. This show just won't die, though. And as for the premise of this episode, I can't believe I didn't pick up on the double meaning of the episode title, The Mutants Are Revolting. They're both kinds of revolting. I had to have it spelled out for me in that newspaper article. Not my finest moment. And yeah, the setup for this episode was a lot of fun, delivering an explosive souffle to Mrs. Astor. Normally you're afraid of a souffle falling in a very different sense, but we couldn't drop it this time because it would explode. And Bender carrying it because he's gyroscopically stable made for some really good physical comedy. The souffle staying still while everything around him was like changing directions wildly, crashing, and he had such a look of worry on his face the entire time. And I was sure he was going to mess it up somehow, because that's just the kind of thing Bender does, but it wound up being okay. And I still feel like no company should have to deliver such dangerous cargo if it can be avoided. It would make more sense to fly Elzar in and have him prepare the souffle on site. And actually, no, if she wanted an Elzar souffle, we could have just delivered the souffle and then added the nitroglycerin. That would have made so much more sense. But no, this show has never been about making sense, so we got the episode we did. And the whole run-up to Mrs. Astor's mansion was so ridiculous. Bender backed up so far that he was at the front door and then backed up over the rickety bridge, only to go over it forward again, all the way around, and then jumping the ravine. And I feel like a lot of the comedy in this show just comes down to how exhausting some of our characters are. It's just super funny sometimes. And yeah, Mrs. Astor has, after all of that, she only has one bite and was too full, fed it to her dogs, and then the souffle exploded, so are we left to assume that all her dogs died? But then we attended her charity function and learned about her husband disappearing in the land Titanic that crashed and went down. Why would you name it after a ship that was famous for crashing? And this also means that in one of the earliest episodes of this series, with Bender falling in love with Countess de la Roca, that Titanic spaceship was named after both the sunken ship with DiCaprio on it and this ship that sunk into the depths of New York. Just stop naming things after the Titanic, jeez. But yeah, the charity function was for mutants, and Mrs. Astor was so condescending. She set up a university fittingly called Brown University because it's in the sewers, and she used it just as a distraction from the mutants ever wanting equal rights. And Leela understandably had enough, but then Fry outed her as a mutant. God, why do we let Fry even know things? We should just wipe his brain of any secrets so that he doesn't accidentally leak it to everybody. And yeah, I liked Hermes' exchange with Fry, where Hermes just kept trying to correct Fry. I feel like I ruined her life. You did ruin her life. You might be right, Hermes. I am right. And, I mean, if the mutants didn't eventually get equal rights, the sacrifice Leela's parents made for her to let her live on the surface would have meant nothing at all because of Fry leaking that secret. So I'm glad things worked out in the end. But yeah, her parents, Leela's parents, took her for a trip around the sewers. There were some nice little puns in there. Old Filthful instead of Old Faithful, and the West Side Pipeway instead of the West Side Highway. And then the rest of the crew, sans Bender, gets thrown into the sewers for harboring a mutant. And Fry thinks he'll understand the plights of mutants just by spending 2 weeks down there, just really digging into the crowd who think they know what it's like to be discriminated against because they've experienced something that's not at all at the same scale. I mean, having your intelligence compared to Fry's? Ouch. But yeah, he actually tried to understand the plight of a mutant by becoming one, which is a heck of a move. Very, very sweet, but also very, very dumb. And yeah, the Revolting Revolt was fun as well. Lots of parodies of typical slogans. We shall undercome, Frequel rights, and the Million Mutant March. And then Fry was Mutant Moses parting the sewage sea. It was so ridiculous. And it eventually works out because Fry uncovers Mr. Astor's sacrifice all those years ago, giving his seat in the life car up for a mutant child. And it really touched his wife's heart. And yay, we get equality. I mean, we're still a far way off because there's still going to be a lot of discrimination. But it's still also so messed up that so much suffering could have been done away with on a rich person's whim. So messed up. But yeah, Fry wound up not turning into a mutant. He just spent most of the episode in Mr. Astor's mouth. I was wondering how they were going to get him back to normal. It was just very, very silly way to do it. So yeah, we might see more mutants on the surface in future episodes, though there might be some mutants who choose to continue living in the sewers because it's all they've ever known. And also, they don't have any money or land, right? So I don't know how they're going to be able to live up there, because are they expected to live on the streets? I'm not sure. It would be funny if they were actually all very, very rich because tons of coins have dropped down the sewer grates or gotten flushed or whatever. But yeah, given how this show takes place in a capitalistic dystopia, I don't think the government will be helping out at all. Though with Mrs. Astor's change of heart and Mr. Astor being a mutant himself, maybe they're rich enough to set something up for them. But you know, like, we shouldn't have to rely on such rich people feeling charitable for marginalized communities to receive the funding that they deserve and need. But yeah, speaking of rich people, really funny and meta jab at them from Zoidberg. Hooray, a happy ending for the rich people. Oh, that was really, really great. But the kid who Mr. Astor gave up his life car for was Leela's maternal grandmother. I guess that's a cool reveal. And yeah, it was cute seeing Bender miss his friend so much. And we ended on a 100th delivery celebration for everybody, a 100 episode celebration. And I enjoyed this episode quite a bit. Hope you all had a good time watching this reaction. Leave a like, and I'll see you guys next week with more. Bye, friends.